Good morning, everyone. My topic about the gross income chapter 6. By the way, my name is Jolie Marie Sumayo from Group 2. First, what is gross income? A gross income as defined in the tax code means all income derived from whatever sources, including but not limited to the following item. First, compensation for service in whatever form paid, including but not limited to rents, salary, wages, commission, and similar items. Second, gross income derived from the conduct of the trade or business of from the sources of profession. Third, gain derived from dealers in property. Fourth, interest. Fifth, rents. When I say is composition is kabayaran for your service, that is a gross income. That means is all income derived from whatever sources. The next is 6 royalties, 7 divided, 8 annuities, 9 prize and winners, 6 pension, 5 partner distributive shares from the net income of a general professional partnership. The next is composition income. In general, the term composition means all remuneration from the services performed by an employee for his employer under an employer-to-employee relationship, unless especially excluded by the code. When you say composition means is kabayaran for your services performed, defined as taxable income accrues from the employer-employee relationship and includes the following: salary, wages, compensation, commission, allowances, and remuneration. Forms of composition: amendments in Revenue Regulation 8/2012, 5/2011, 10/2008, and 8/2000 as being incorporated in this discussion. Composition does not always come in the form of money, or it always termed as stand. Composition has various forms. Various has a following. First, composition paid in kind. Composition may be in some medium other than money, as for example, stock, bonds, or other forms of property. That means a paid of kind. Next is living quarters and meals. If a person receives salaries as remuneration for services rendered, and in addition their living quarters or meals are provided, the value to such person as the quarters and meals to be finished shall be added to the remuneration paid for the purpose for determining the amount of proposition subject to withholding. That means is when you receive a salary for your composition services is provided for your living quarters and meals. The third is facilities and privilege of relatively small value. Ordinary facilities and privilege, otherwise known as diminished benefits or other benefits. furnished or offered by an employer to his employees are not considered as compensation subject to income tax and consequently to withholding tax in such facilities or privilege are of relatively small value are offered and furnished by the employee when well has means of promoting the health, goodwill, commitment, or efficiency of his employers. The means of facilities and privilege of relative small value is other benefits that offered by the employer to his employee, offered of a good health, goodwill, commitment, or facilities for his employer. Then the next is tips and guarantees. Tips and guarantees paid directly to an employer by a consumer for the employer which are not accounted by the employer to the employer are considered as taxable income but not subject to withholding. That means is paid directly. The fifth is pension, retirement, and separation pay. Pension and retirement and separation pay constitute composition subject are withholder expect those provided. The next is fixed and grant variable transportation, representation, and other allowance. In general, fixed and variable transportation, representation, and other allowance which are received by a public officer or employer for a private entirety in addition to the regular composition fixed composition for his position of the office and composition subject to withholder means that is a transportation, presentation, and other allowance are received for public officer receiving or rewarding. That is 7 is vacation and sick leaving allowance means amounts of vacation allowance or sick leave credits which are paid to the employer constitute compensation. Thus, the salary of the employer are vacation of on the sick leaving, which is paid notwithstanding that absence for work. Contribute compensation means that when you leave kanang leave naagapon kay allowance nga madawat or compensation for your works not considered absent because you are 6 leaves credits. The next is dedication made by the employee from the composition of the employee. Any amount which is required by the law to be deducted by the employer from the composition of the employee, including the withhold tax in the consider as a part of employer composition and is needed to be paid to be employer has a composition of the time that deducted is made. It means that a dedication is deducted or required by the law to deduct the employer from the composition of the employer. The next is remuneration for services an employer as a non-resident alien individual or foreigner entirety. The term compensation includes remuneration for service for the employer for the non-descendants aliens individual, foreigner partnership, or foreigner cooperation. rather are not just alien individual or foreigner entity engaged the trade or business within the Philippines. The last one is composition for services performed outside the Philippines. Remuneration for the service performed outside the Philippines by residents, citizens for a domestic or a resident foreigner corporation or a partnership or from a non-resident corporation or partnership or for a non-resident individual not engaged the trade or business in the Philippines shall be treated as a composition which is subject to the tax. This is the 10 forms of composition. Let's proceed to another topic. Business income. Manufacturing, merchandising or meaning. In the case of manufacturing, merchandising or meaning business, gross income means total sales less cost of a goods sold plus any income from investment or from initial for the other operation or sources. This is the formula that that we can get the gross income. Gross sales less cost of goods sold, gross profit from sales, add other income and equal gross income. The next is farming. Gross income from farming includes gain or profit derived from the cooperation of farmers such as stock, dairy, poultry, fruits or truck farmers, plantation, and etc. Income of a farmer may be reported using rather cash bias, actual bias, or copier bias. The 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 formula of cash bias is cash sales or value of messengers or other property received, sales of livestock or other item purchased, less cost of sales, gross profit, miscellaneous income, and the total is gross income. And another is actual bias, beginning and ending inventory of livestock on product raised and purchased are considered to arrive at the gross income. Ending inventory, cost, crush, sales or value of messenger and other property received, sales of livestock and other items passengers, miscellaneous income, total less beginning inventory cost of livestock and other items, gross income. That is an actual bias. And the last one is copier bias. The bias of use by the farmer who to take more than 1 year from planting up to the harvesting or disposing. The entire cost of the production is dedicated to the gross income in the year it was realized. The next is gain derived from deals in property. Gain income derived from deals in property includes our income derived from the disposition of property, real, personal, or mixed from money, sales, or from the other properties, exchange of both, which is result in gain. Because of the difference between the taxable investment, it will he dispose of the value what he received. Gain or received from the dealer's is dealt profit. All income received from the distribution of property, real, personal, or obsi mixed from the money or sales or other property exchange, that combination which is result in a gain. Interest. Cost income derived from interest is only just interest as a risk from indebtedness, that is, composition from the loan or forbearance of money, goods, or credit unless expected by the law. Interest received by the taxable. When you get inside the loan, you have an interest for your loan that is a good or credits. The next is intercompany advance. Intercompany advance, more properly related to the transaction between facilitated companies and between parents or subsidiaries. Those are not limited to financially distressed situation. Common financing is related to the even more cooperation that are financial sounds. The intercooperation is advanced. That transaction will be fine to the between parents and subdivision that will not to be financial distress situation. And that's all. Thank you for listening, and good day everyone.